Oh, and also before we get into it, actually, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, follow, everything that you can do if you like what you see. What's up? It's your girl Jameer of All Trades, and we're back with another video. So today I'm gonna do something that I've never done before. It's going kind of outside of my comfort zone, but it was placed on my heart and highly encouraged by one of my friends for me to step out and do a video talking about breakups and how to get over someone that you love. I will just go ahead and give this disclaimer. First of all, you can have a breakup from anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone you were officially dating. This could be someone you talked to, someone you was hanging out with, someone you had a crush on and they may not have even known, but for whatever reason, you gotta let them go, sis. You gotta let them go, bro. Whoever you are, whoever we got watching right now, you gotta let them go. You know that, and you have to face the harsh realities of moving on. So this video here is to just kind of help encourage you and give you the tips that I live by, the tips that I learned from, lived by, and baby, we're here prospering today, okay? So I don't want to keep you guys too long with the intro. We just want to get right into it because I know right now you clicked on this video because you need some advice, and I'm here to give it to you. So without further ado, let's get into the steps right now. First things first, I had to slip into something more comfortable, and we're on the couch with it. I feel like this is more of an open environment, more comforting. Y'all ready to hear this tea? Now, once I drop these gems, don't be acting brand new. Make sure you let me know your success stories, because I'm guaranteeing you this is gonna work. So step number one. This is the most important step, and honestly, I think that is very crucial. And look, I know how you girls like to tussle on this situation.
By the way, I have a question, and don't fight me because I know how you girls like to tussle.
And on this subject matter, and act like you don't need to do it, but you need to do it, girl. Delete his number. Delete his number, and I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna take it a step further. Block him. Block him, block his number, block his Instagram, block his Twitter, whatever you can find him on, block him. And guess what? This is not punishment for him, or this is not because you don't want him to talk to you or whatever. This is actually for you. This is for you. I find that the longer that you kind of put off, and once again, this is all, I actually probably should have gave this disclaimer at the beginning. This is all from my experience. I am by far no expert. I'm just telling you what's worked for me. And I find that you have to do this step, or I have to do this step in order to truly get over someone. Whenever I skip it, it just does not work because I'm going on their page. I'm waiting for their call, looking for their text. Even if I deleted their number, I remember it. Like all of that junk. You kind of X out all those things if you block their number and block their social media. This is for you though. Don't block him trying to be petty and wanting him to email you and wanting him to book an appointment for you as a last check and he shows up and be there. No.
Why do you act like that?
Like what?
The way that you act, you don't see how you act why people don't want to be around you?
No.
Look how you act.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't cute. This ain't for the cute game, sis. This is so you cannot be checking for him. The name of this step is my favorite name because this is words that I live by all the time. Out of sight, out of mind. When it is not in sight, it is not in your mind. If you're sitting here stalking his Instagram page, if you're sitting here watching his stories, waiting for you or waiting for him to give subliminals and throw shots at you, if you're sitting there creeping on his girl that he cheated on you with, whatever, if you're doing it, you're not getting over him. You're spending too much time and energy directed towards him and not enough on you. This process is about you, baby. So yeah, when I say block him, this is not like a cry for help or a call for attention. That's actually the complete opposite. This is so you can put on your blinders and start this process. So say it with me, because this seems to be the subject that you walls like to want to skip, babe. And it's not meant to be skipped. Say it with me. Out of sight, out of mind. I look good. Damn, I'm fine. No, I'm just like, literally, out of sight, out of mind, okay? So this is imperative that you do this. For the next step, before I go into it, I do want to preface it by saying that breaking up with someone, or I guess moving on from a relationship or situationship or whatever, it is okay to experience grief-like feelings, because it is a loss. It is something that requires a grieving process. I actually talked to a licensed professional, and he said that we grieve as humans more than just like in situations more than just death.
You mentioned with grieving and losing someone, it doesn't necessarily always have to be with death. So what range does grief span to, I guess, with your job? Like, what all do you deal with other than just death?
Well, there's over 40 different types of losses that have been recognized.
Wow.
Whether it gets divorce, or it may be moving, or it may be, a loss of a pet. Or it could be just a loss of trust. It could be a loss of finances. It could be a loss of whatever. So it stretches along those tangible and intangible losses. But sometimes we don't look at a loss of trust or a loss of faith as a grieving moment.
Grieving is for anything that you lose, anything that has lost you, you're losing whatever, and it's no longer gonna be there. So I do want to say that in order to move on, you have to understand and process your feelings and feel them. And I just want to let you know that it's normal to go through these feelings of a loss, like feeling like you done lost someone close to you, because in a way you have. Step 2 is going to help you get over the number 1 step in the grieving process. Matter of fact, let me just tell you the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Ooh. So much like grieving for death, we go through that when I just look, okay, you're talking to someone that's had so many freaking crushes that I had to get over, and the man probably didn't even know I was like secretly in love with him. What can I say? I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm a lover girl. It's happened. So I've experienced these feelings, but step 2 can help you get over that first step of the grieving process. That first step is denial. Let's take a little second to acknowledge that denial is a thing. Denying is what separates the girls from the women. Okay, the real boss baddies, the real boss, whatever you want to call yourself. Denial will hold back someone if you let it. So in order to elevate to the lady that you want to be and level up, or the man that you want to be or whatever, you have to get past that denial phase. Stop being delusional. Stop being delusional. And matter of fact, that leads me to step 2. Drum roll, please. Step 2 is wake up and smell the bacon, sweetie. It's a reality check. A reality check, okay? In a way, I like to call it, for lack of better terms, for colloquial term, hurting your own feelings. Because, and this is not talking down on yourself. It's not questioning yourself. No, baby. It's actually the complete opposite. Giving yourself a reality check is calling a spade and calling it to you like what it is. The reality of the situation, ma'am or sir, is that if he wanted to be with you right now, he would be. Yeah. Literally, if he wanted to be with you, and you wanted to be with him, obviously, because you're on this video trying to get over him, meaning you had some strong feelings. Let's not be in too much denial here. So if you want to be with him and he wanted to be with you, y'all would be together. 1 + 1 = 2.
V, I did not see it on the sheet. If 2 + 2 is 4, right? And 5 + 5 is 10, okay.
So I know that this is hard for us to believe, but I like to call this step being mean to myself, because I literally, whenever I find myself thinking of a person when I'm trying to get over them, I make a lot of excuses, especially when you don't get closure. Oh my gosh. I feel like not getting closure is worse than like getting cheated on, because at least if you get cheated on, there goes your answer. If you choose to walk away, and you know your worth and everything, you have reasons to like be like, yeah, no, he was no good. You know, you can cut him off. You have so much anger towards him and hurt, you know, to cut him off. But when you don't have closure, it gives your mind room to wander. You're thinking like, well, maybe it's just, you know, we really did have a connection. He really does want to be with me, but it's just not the right time. It's just not the right time, which could be true, but I don't tell myself that when I'm on step 2 of the getting over a man process here. I don't tell myself that. I leave no room for hope. No room for hope. I literally tell myself, he didn't want you. If he wanted you, he would be with you. And that's not an attack on who you are as a woman, because just because he didn't want you don't mean he didn't need you. Don't mean that you're not the best thing that he ever would have had, could have had, should have had. It doesn't mean any of that. But if he really did want you, y'all would be together. If you really were meant to be with him, you would be with him right now. If it really was meant to work out, all those factors that were listed as an excuse, going away for school, moving away for work, a lot going on. My favorite, it's a lot going on. All that junk, he would want you closer. He would figure out how to make it work. He or she, because this is not just getting over a man, okay? This is getting over whoever. If they wanted to, they would, okay? For this, I say wake up and smell the bacon. If you're in a situation where you're giving yourself hope, you are probably still on step 1, and you need to go ahead and go back and make sure he blocked, okay? Once he blocked, come back to step 2, and then tell yourself, look, he's blocked here today because if he didn't want to be blocked, he would have acted right. He would have opened up his mouth and communicated. He would have gave you closure. He wouldn't have you questioning yourself, him, anything. There would be no questions. If he wanted to, he would have. That's just the harsh reality of things. Closure is a luxury, people. Unfortunately, we all deserve closure, but we rarely get it. And that's just the fact of the matter. And it sucks, but like sometimes no answer, usually actually like all the time, no answer is your answer. So especially if you're in a situation where you kind of like up in the air with it, you didn't hear his side, you're craving that closure, usually that's your closure. So that concludes step 2, waking up and smelling the bacon. It's not funny, but it's very true. Like, so let's say, okay, you've blocked him, boom, out of sight, out of mind. Step 1, out of there. Step 2, you have woke up and smelt the bacon. You smelt the bacon, sweetie. You have already accepted that he was playing and he wasn't right for you. So now you're on step 3.
Trauma tone.
Time for you to get what you've been missing. Okay, step 3 is very, very important, because now that you've blocked him or her, you have all this extra spare time on your hands. And now your mind is wandering. It's coming up with scenarios. It's coming up with, I miss him. It's making you cry, all these things. You know what you need to be doing with this extra time? You need to be focusing on yourself. And you need to pick up a new hobby. Stay busy. I know it's very cliche, but I think the term revenge body is not even necessarily like revenge in a sense of, I think that revenge body is like a mindset. In a way, you may be doing it with your motivation being like getting revenge, but really it's for yourself. You're literally elevating yourself. You got all this extra time on your hands, and you can pick up a new hobby. You can just take advantage of this time to like do all the things that you've been missing out on when you were in a relationship. Some people, when they get in a relationship, they forget their friends, they forget their family, they'll forget their head if it ain't on their shoulders, you know? So if you're one of those people, that's fine. Take advantage of this time to smell the fresh air and to enjoy time with yourself, to, you know, have fun with your friends. Because if they're your real friends, they're going to accept you even though you acted brand new that one time. We ain't forget, sis. Like, take advantage of this time to be you as a person. You're already like a boss, baddie, busy girl. Take this time to get busy. I mean, like, pick up a new hobby. Like, Not busy and overwhelming and taking on new tasks that you may not be able to uphold, but busy in a sense of like picking up something that you truly enjoy. One hobby that I don't want to like monetize is legit just a hobby that I've always found fun. It's great exercise and it's a way to escape. It's skating. Try skating. Try skiing. Whatever you always have wanted to do, get busy with that. Things that are fulfilling your soul. Also, when I say get what you've been missing, I'm saying in a sense of like, if you've been craving, affirmations or whatever from your ex-boyfriend or your ex-crush or your ex-lover, whatever you want to call it, instead of getting those affirmations from them, take this time to give it to yourself. Validate yourself. I do want to make note, when I say like get what you're needing and pick up a new hobby and staying busy, this does not include social media. You could, if he wanted to, he would post on Facebook to death. He don't care. He's sleeping great. He's sleeping peacefully or not, but it's not your business. It doesn't matter. Don't be over here seeking attention, posting posts on social media, because all you're doing ultimately is making yourself look crazy. I go on a whole social media cleanse when I'm heartbroken. Literally, if I'm on a social media break, it's probably because I'm heartbroken. This is not a step. This is more so like just a tip. Be patient with yourself. I know this sounds extremely cliche, but the way I look at it is, I feel like we as humans, we as women should be allowed to feel unapologetically. So if you're going through a breakup or whatever you want to call it, if you're moving on from someone, good for you. Good. Because if it was meant to be, it would be. Remember. So claps, cheers to you for moving on, picking up your stuff, holding yourself accountable and wanting to move on and be a better person. But now that you're moving on, you also have to realize that it's gonna take time. It gets messy. It's gonna be times where it's months, maybe even a year later, years later, and you think you're over him and you're still thinking about him. Or you think you're over him and then you accidentally want to text him, or whatever the case may be. Grieving and losing someone and moving on, healing is a messy process. It's not perfect because everyone's different. Someone may get over their boyfriend of 10 years in 2 months. Probably not, actually. That was a terrible example. Someone may get over their boyfriend situationship of 6 months in a year. But then there's some people where it might take 4 years or more. It took me forever to get over the last person that I dealt with. And truth be told, it wasn't even a full-fledged relationship. It was a situationship. And to be honest, it took me longer to get over this person than it did any of my past relationships. It took me years to get over this person. And there were times where I thought I was over it, maybe a year later, from the official ending of it, I was still thinking about him. And I went out on a date, I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? No, you can't talk to yourself like that. You know what I mean? You have to understand that it takes time. Everyone is different. So don't rush the process and don't try to suppress your feelings. Allow yourself to feel. Accept your feelings for what they are. If you need to cry, you need to cry. I'm a firm believer, when you need to cry, baby, let it out. And then you keep it pushing. You move on. You let it out. You release and you move forward. So my final tip and the final note, I should say, that I'm leaving this on is, and once again, another cliche quote, but it's definitely something to live by. Oldie but goodie, okay? Oldie but goodie. Everything happens for a reason. I know you don't want to hear this, but trust me. If it happened, it was meant to happen. If it happened, no matter what you did or what he did, it was inevitable because it was meant to happen. I know that timing is a strange thing because it can be used as an excuse or a crutch sometimes, not all the time. But sometimes we find ourselves saying, oh, it was good, but it wasn't good timing. It's okay for sometimes it just not to be meant to be at all. Maybe it's not timing. And it could be, but what you can't focus on the future and timing and all of that thing. You can only focus on right now and right in this present moment. And regardless of the timing being perfect or not, it did not work out in this very moment. So you have to kind of take reality for what it is, accept it, pick your bags up, pick your feelings up, and move on. If it does come back around to you, think of it as a pleasant surprise, but you're not expecting it, and that's okay. Furthermore, I know that we as women and as men too, we think that sometimes it cannot get better. It can't get better. She did this for me. We understood each other. That connection, baby. There are so many people on this earth that I guarantee you, what she didn't do, what he didn't do, whatever, there's someone else that will. And I literally didn't think it was possible to have a connection stronger than the connection I had with the last guy. The last guy was giving me love crumbs. He was only giving me enough to just keep me coming back. I'm thinking it's love. It was just the crumbs. The right one cannot come in your life if you got the wrong one taking up space. It's not room for both the right and the wrong one. I mean, you could try. There's people that do it, but I don't think it works out too well. You gotta pick what you want. Do you want Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong? Because Mr. Wrong is the reason why you writing this song, baby. I really hope that this helps you. Also, before I go, I just want to say, give a shout out to yourself. Pat yourself on the back, because at the end of the day, you made the choice to choose yourself and to keep it pushing and to move on, because it's not always easy. A lot of times it's so easy to get caught in this cycle of block each other, text each other cycle, and it's up to you as the woman. I mean, I know it's this for everyone, like, because men, I guess this apply to you as well, but like, usually as the woman, you got to be the